When the children in Clubhouse think about China, it's very mixed. I think there are days and times where they love it and they are so proud, but then other days when they think about it in another way, they feel really angry. How can I love a place that didn't want me?
I was really scared. I was really scared because she was crying so hard, and I never had a baby, so I didn't know what to do. So I just held the baby. I was scared, but I knew, once we saw her, we knew we would do whatever we needed to do. So, it was very emotional, and my husband and I cried, and she cried, and we just wanted to get her away from where everybody was and there was all this commotion, so we could go to our hotel room where it was quiet. We played with her, and I remember the first time she laughed, maybe like the second or third day. She was laying on the bed, and I went to take her socks off to put her in the tub, and I put my hands on her socks, and I said, 1, 2, 3, wee! And I pulled her socks off, and she started laughing and laughing and laughing. Well, my husband and I were looking into having a family. Wasn't working out the traditional way. And so we decided to look into adoption. I was just so interested in China. And then when I heard that there were girls in China and they were healthy and you could adopt them, and my husband and I just decided to do it. So we just started the process, and it was a lot of paperwork. It was about $10,000 or $12,000, and most of the expense is for your flight and your hotel and visas, like American visas and all that kind of stuff. They called me and they said, we have a little girl and her name is January June, and she was born in June, and she's healthy and she's cute and she's wonderful. And they didn't email stuff back then. This was going back 11 years. So my husband rushed home from work, and we drove over there and we saw the picture, and of course we fell in love right away. It was very emotional, but it didn't seem real until we got our approval to fly to China, and then we met her, and then you have a baby. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty. They could always share this, because I don't know, maybe there'll become a time when it's not easy for them. Maybe there's a time that they feel different. But as long as they have a sister who's in the same situation, then they don't have to feel different. They can have their sister to talk to about it. It's like anybody else's life. Oh, I don't want to cry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll just try to talk and then maybe it will stop. Their life is like any other American child. They go to school every day. They want Ugg boots. They want a cell phone.
We're at a very different time period where the girls want to navigate and understand what it means to be Chinese, what it means to be adopted, and what it means to be a teenager.
Are you interested about China?
Not really.
So you think you're American?
I wasn't. Yeah. No, I'm actually half and half.
Things that children have talked about being difficult, for example, are how to deal with someone who's teasing them. Sometimes children ask questions, not because they're trying to be mean, but because they're curious. Why don't you look like your mom? Why is your hair black and your mom's hair blonde? I don't understand. But for the Chinese adoptee, they're feeling maybe embarrassed or frustrated or sad every time someone makes those comments.
They never told me that. It may have happened to them. I worry about it and I ask them about it, but they say, no, nobody says anything. I don't want my kids to feel different. I want them to have a lot of people around them who look like them. We knew that if we lived in a city with a lot of Chinese people, that they would have a lot of Chinese people around them. So that's why we moved here.
I came from Kazakhstan, which is like under Russia, and I was adopted when I was 2 and 9 months. So yeah. When I think about it, I think it's like, you know, like, wow, that's so cool. What if she didn't adopt me? That would be so scary. I wouldn't know you guys.
Children really want to know about their birth culture and their birth identity. That the girls are getting older, they're curious to find their birth parents because they want to know more about their story. In some cases, they want to know what their birth parents look like, or they miss them and they think about them.
They have asked me, you know, why do I look different than you? Where's my birth mother? And we just tell them, you know, your birth mother's in China. We're not sure where, but I'm sure she loved you, and I'm sure that she would have liked to keep you, but for whatever reason she couldn't. So here we are.
And when they come here and they ask these questions, suddenly I don't do anything. I feel that way sometimes. Me too. Really? Oh, I thought it was by myself. I didn't know. Sometimes, you know, I just cry because I think about my birth mother and father so much. I just wish I knew what her face looked like. And suddenly the room talks about that.
Well, they say, I want to see what she looks like. But I don't think they want to, they don't want to explore it much further right now.
What do you think about your life here?
That's really funny.
Well, this is kind of a normal life to me because I don't really know what's in China that much, but I know that they're kind of poor and they're kind of busy, and they eat like fish and stuff.
Okay, who's your idol of gymnastics?
Allie Raisman and well, the U.S. team.
Sometimes the children also have feelings of guilt, like, oh no, what if I wasn't a good baby? What if I cried a lot and that's why my Chinese birth mom didn't want me anymore? Or I wasn't a boy, I wasn't good enough, so they did not keep me and raise me.
And she used to talk about, she said, her birth mother, and I, really emphasized that she loved her. And I remember we were watching a TV show once, and she was only like around 5 or 6, and a girl was crying, saying my mother didn't want me. She was a foster kid. And Diana burst out crying, saying my birth mother didn't want me. And it broke my heart.
They worry if I complain too much, or say I'm sad, or say I miss China, or say I miss my Chinese birth parents, then I'll make my adoptive parents feel bad.
And if they were decided they wanted to, I don't know, go back to China and visit or whatever, they could do whatever they want. Because the thing is, my kids were adopted, but I'm like any other mother. I just want my kids to be happy.
The child travels to China expecting, oh, this is where I'll fit in. This is where I'll belong. Everyone is Chinese and I'll be there and feel safe. They go and they have people looking at them, people staring at them, wondering why they might not speak Chinese or speak Chinese perfectly, or why their mannerism is different, why their clothes is different. Then they come back to their United States and more people are asking them questions. So I think sometimes these children have to learn to navigate two cultures and be really strong in their sense of self, to know that you're both and it's okay.
Passing by, see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do?
The biggest gift to me is my daughter. And after Ayana, I have to be honest with you, I didn't even want a baby.
I feel like I hit the lottery because my kids are so great.